We'll be going over the self-employed health insurance deduction worksheet, which you can find in the instructions for IRS Schedule 1, line 17. So normally taxpayers can take a deduction for health care insurance for themselves, for their spouse, or their dependents. They can also even claim health insurance costs for a child under the age of 27 at the end of the tax year, even if that child is not a dependent. However, one of the following conditions must be true in order to do so. Condition 1, the taxpayer is self-employed and had a net profit on either Schedule C or Schedule F. Condition 2, the taxpayer was a partner with net earnings from self-employment. Condition 3, the taxpayer used one of the optional methods to calculate earnings on IRS Schedule SE. Or 4, the taxpayer received wages from an S corporation where they were a 2% or greater shareholder. So if you meet any one of those conditions, you can then use this worksheet to calculate your self-employed health insurance deduction. However, there are 3 exceptions. You may have to use IRS Publication 535 instead of this worksheet located in the Schedule 1 instructions if you had more than one source of self-employment income, or you file IRS Form 2555, which is the Foreign Income Exclusion Form, or 3, you're using amounts paid for qualified long-term care to calculate your deduction. If any of those situations is true, then you have to use the worksheet located in Publication 535 instead of this one. So this worksheet is fairly straightforward. We're going to enter an amount in line 1. We're going to enter a different amount in line 2. And then we're going to compare whichever one is the smaller. And that will be the item that gets used in line 17 as the self-employed health insurance deduction. So in line 1, you're looking at the total paid for health insurance coverage under your business or your S corporation for you, your spouse, and your dependents, or even your child who is under the age of 27 at the end of the tax year, even if they were no longer your dependent. However, you can't include any amounts for any month where you were able to participate in an employer-sponsored plan, or if the amounts that were paid from retirement plan distributions were non-taxable because you're a retired public safety officer. There are certain tax benefits to that aspect. So you can include any other costs specifically to health insurance coverage. So in the case of our hero John Doe, let's imagine that he spent $25,000 in health insurance premiums for him and his family last year. Now in line 2, we're going to enter the net profit plus any other earned income from the business under which the insurance plan is established. So, and then we're going to back out some deductions from line 15 and 16. So the net profit, if you used either optional method to determine your net earnings from self-employment, you would enter the amount from Schedule SE line 4B, which basically is a culmination of the calculations from one of the optional methods for determining net earnings from self-employment. So you would enter the line 4B number in there. You would also include any earned income. So this would be net earnings and gains from the sale, transfer, or licensing of property that you created in the course of your business. This is different from capital gain income, where you might have held assets for business use and then you turn around and sold them, or you held them for investment purposes and you turn around and sold them and made a profit. The earned income from the sale, transfer, and licensing of property you created is not considered capital gain income. If you are more than a 2% shareholder in the S corporation under which the insurance plan is established, then your earned income happens to be the same as your Medicare wages, which you can find in box 5 of your Form W-2 from that corporation. Now, once you have those two figures, you need to subtract deductions from lines 15 and line 16 on Schedule 1. Line 15 is the deductible part of the self-employment tax. So as an employer, you have to pay the other half of your self-employment tax. Normally that's the FICA tax, the Social Security tax. Wage income earners pay half of that responsibility, and then business owners pay the other half. When you are your own business owner, you pay both halves, and you can take a deduction on line 15 for the one half that happens to be deductible. And then line 16 is deductible contributions to self-employed, SEP, simple, or other qualified retirement plans. So you need to make sure that you back out those deductions. You can't use them twice. So in John Doe's situation, we say that his net profit is $45,000. So now in line 3, we're simply going to determine which one is the smaller. Is it the amount of health insurance coverage that we paid, or is it the amount of profit plus the other earned income? So you can take a full deduction for the health insurance up to the amount of your net profit plus your earned income. And that's basically what this worksheet is helping you do. It's to consolidate which one is the smaller of those two. You can't take a deduction for health insurance coverage that creates a loss. That would not be allowed. So once you determine the smaller of those two amounts, which in John Doe's case happens to be the health insurance coverage, you can put that on line 17. That is your self-employed health insurance deduction. However, don't include this amount when you're calculating medical expense deductions on Schedule A if you're itemizing deductions. You can't use the same costs in two different areas to calculate two different deductions. So that's all we have for this video. We do go into Schedule 1 in pretty well in depth in our article, which you can find on teachmepersonalfinance.com. If you go to the search bar and type in IRS Schedule 1, you should see our article appear. You'll also see links to the article, plus all of the articles and videos we've created for other forms mentioned in this video. They'll be in the show notes. So if you like our articles, please subscribe to our newsletter. And if you like our YouTube videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have any questions or comments or concerns, please don't hesitate to put them in the show notes. Thank you very much and have a great day.